Hi there, this is Mike Graham of Weight Loss and Personal Development, and today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about marketing and the processes involved with marketing, because that's always the subplot, the story that's going on underneath the creation of products, the putting the products out there and trying to get people to have a look at you. Because the purpose of putting any product out online is to get people to have a look, because there is a sense that you are trying to address basic problems people have in their life. I'm trying to address people's weight loss problems. But it's certain people's weight loss problems. It's people who have an interest also in personal development, who see that the two things are quite closely allied. And I think most people who have lost weight over any length of time would see that they have actually developed as a person during the process. Now, I could be more specific than that, because obviously being middle-aged myself, I'm bound to attract slightly more middle-aged people, but that doesn't mean this program, this way of looking at it, is exclusively for middle-aged people. But I think that middle-aged people have more problems getting weight off than younger people once they take the first step, because obviously losing weight, one of the big things is to take the first step. As with any major project, I mean, I can only speak from my own experience, and the sense that I'd find a way somehow, and that it would happen. Well, of course, I didn't find a way until I found a way. And it was fairly structured. So let me knock that illusion on the head. You find a way when something presents itself to you that seems fairly logical, that you can follow, that's in keeping with your basic energy, if you like. It's something that you can do. It's not going to be what everybody else can do, but it's something what you can do, and it is fairly personal. And losing weight is not a matter of one size fits all. I mean, the basic calorific equation does, because to lose weight, you have to use up more calories than you take on board. That's a simple equation, and it's not something that you can ever get away from. But there are various ways that you can approach this. A lot of people do this by just eating less than what they were eating, and that's a fairly good way, but I think it does have to be more structured than that, where you actually follow specific plans. Personally, I could never have lost weight if it had come down to trying to measure calories per se. We talk in terms of calories for sure, but it's quite a difficult currency to work in, because you're dealing with large numbers, you're dealing with specific weights and measurements. If you have a piece of Black Forest Gatto, which is always a popular one I find in various dietary books, which nobody really follows. Black Forest Gatto is it's so many calories a slice. Now, you have to ask how big this slice is. I mean, believe you me, Black Forest Gatto is quite fattening. And you don't want to eat it too often if you're trying to lose weight. But this is a hypothetical situation. A normal slice of Black Forest Gatto is 800 calories or something, maybe more. But exactly how big is this slice? It's not any old slice, is it? You have to measure it. Then you have to weigh the slice. Is it a 3-gram slice, a 5-gram slice, a 7-gram slice? We're not really given specifics. So actually, if you can find a system of losing weight which translates calorific value of a certain weight of food into something else like points or units, then it makes the task an awful lot easier for you. Then you don't have to do the exhaustive calculations for yourself, and I think that's a stumbling block for many people. And then there are different styles of losing weight. Is whether you use a system which uses all food types, or a system which doesn't, like keto, which a lot of people promote. And then there are all the systems for losing weight which involve taking pills, or even worse, having surgery. You know, how do we know these pills work, that they're not bad for you? These are all questions that you should ask. My take on it is that you should find a system that uses natural food, that doesn't involve food that has been created in a laboratory, if you like, that isn't sort of something made up of different ingredients, none of which you've heard, and you use it in a funny way and it substitutes for a meal. I mean, that's just a personal take. You can think differently. I mean, you know, I'm not going to make rules for you. But a system that uses natural food. Now, I prefer the all-round nutrition way, where you use carbohydrates, proteins, fats, whatever, fruits, vegetables. And to my mind, having all-round nutrition is fairly important for this reason, is that we commonly take in these types of food, and when we know that each type of food addresses a particular set of requirements, like you need proteins to build body blocks, like creating tissue, helping recovery. Proteins are by and large the building blocks of nutrition. You need carbohydrates for quicker energy and fats for slower release energy. And obviously, in the case of fats, you don't really eat very many of them. You know, the quantities are necessarily quite low, but because of their nature, they are sort of the really slow burn foods. And if you think of your digestive processes as rather like building a fire, then, you know, you need the carbohydrates, like you need tinderwood to start off a fire. And then you need the proteins to act more like the coal on a fire. And then the fats to behave rather like the big pieces of wood you put on, you know, the much larger logs and stuff that you burn when you've got a decent fire going with the coal. And so that's how you build up your digestive burn, so that takes care of the calories that you put in. Obviously, merely just living uses a certain number of calories, but beyond that we exercise and consciously do things which use up calories, so that we can make sure that we've used up more calories than we take on. And that, in short, is the process of weight loss. We add into those sort of food types fruits and vegetables where you get your vitamins and mineral needs from, by and large. You also got vitamins from the other food types, particularly protein and B vitamins. But if you don't eat fruit and vegetables, the chances are you're going to get sick in another way, as sailors discovered in the 18th century and before, when they found that scurvy could be easily addressed by eating fruits. You know, that's just a simple equation. Anyway, going back to the problem of weight loss, an awful lot of people have a problem with their weight. You know, it's one of those common things that happens in the Western world and elsewhere. People don't look after themselves right. They lead a sort of quite a fast lifestyle, which doesn't give them much time for reflection. They eat fast meals. And the way food is served these days, you know, you can go for ages without eating a proper meal if you feel so minded, if you're just eating instant meals the whole time, none of which is very nutritious. So if the Western world has a nutrition problem, then it shows up in the way that their bodies look, which tends to be fat and bloated. And there are an awful lot of people in this situation. It's not a pleasant place to be in. And at some stage or other, you have to save yourself from much greater health risks by losing some weight. and getting your nutritional trip together so that you are taking on the right types of food. Now, you do that, obviously, how much you can do this depends on how busy your lifestyle is. But, whatever you can do to fit in eating decent food, proper food, into your lifestyle, if you're serious about losing weight, then you have to take this on board. Now, there are many, as I say, there are so many people with this weight problem, and they're also feeling all sorts of psychological problems. So addressing people's concerns on a more mental, emotional level is a part of the process. Weight loss is not just a matter of controlling their food intake and doing exercise and stuff, although that is the basis of it. It also concerns their mindset, their motivation, how they look at themselves. Because when you go on a weight loss journey, you are going to go on two sort of journeys. There's the outer one where you lose the weight, your body becomes slim, you look better, you probably get rid of a few health issues, and you probably just feel a little lighter and happier. But there's also this internal journey going on, and it's sort of a transformation inside. And hopefully you come out the other end as a new person, as an enhanced person compared to where you were at. Losing the feeling of helplessness that you couldn't lose that weight. And suddenly you feel an awful lot of personal power because you've got control over one of those things which is causing you grief beforehand. So hopefully you feel really up. And having control over that sort of situation does give you a sense of mastery in your life, and thinking that I'm the one living my life now. It's not being lived at me or to me. I'm not feeling helpless because every meal is rather like a ticking time bomb, which could explode into even more fat and another trouser size. You're going on the opposite direction. So you're getting all the morale boost and the uplift from your efforts going down the scale, which were negated when you're going up the scale, And I think most people are a bit like this. There are a number of people who feel quite happy being a large size, and that's fair enough, that's their choice. And obviously as you lose weight you're going to feel more like doing exercise, and you're just going to feel more capable. So actually going through a weight loss program is a great personal development course which you can get a lot out of, and I just see the two things as being very much married up, that you don't enhance your life without enhancing your body, but you don't enhance your body without enhancing your inner nature. So that's sort of pretty much nailed on, I think. And for me, the problem is marketing it and getting through to people that is actually something I can help them with. Because deep down, everybody wants to make the best out of who they are. They all want to be the best versions of themselves. And if they don't, then they're kidding them. If they say they don't, they're kidding themselves. That's a sort of essential drive within people. Have the best life possible. And so marketing weight loss as that is quite an interesting thing, because you have to get through to people that A, I can help them losing weight, and B, they can follow if they've got any sort of ability at all, this program is quite easy to follow, and that once they get stuck in, they're going to find it quite easy to pursue to the end, and they'll get tips along the way. So a lot of marketing is just simply about persuasion and telling people that actually they can do it, that this is the method for them, because if they follow this method and they do it properly, they'll get through to the other end of the process and that'll be job done. You hope. And people have their own individual concerns about following regimes of weight loss and what works, but I think the safest and sanest methods are probably the best, because you don't want to mess around too much with your body. Anyway, that's what I got for you today, and I hope that little tour around the place was quite interesting and gives you a clue as to what's going on if you want to lose weight and the steps you have to follow to do it. I put in a URL for a free product that I'm offering below. Give me a like or a subscribe if you found this video useful, and hopefully I look forward to catching you on another video. Thank you.